Wow, what an intro. Hello everyone, my name is Double Negative, and welcome to Let's Play Diablo. Hope you mind the frame rate occurrences there. Anyway, we're going to make a new character now. Going to go with a rogue. You can play as warrior, rogue, or sorcerer, melee, ranged, or magic. And the canon name for the rogue is Morena, but that's honestly pretty fucking stupid. So we're not going to use that. Yeah, I'm kind of ranting about it here. Instead, we're just going to go with rogue. Eventually. Come on, there we go. Yeah, we're just going to go with rogue. Anyway, the interface is pretty standard. It is a 1996 action game. Something feels like it's missing, though. Let's fix that. There we go. Got the classic Diablo music, Tristram music.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen. The story of Wirt is a frightening and tragic one. He was taken from the arms of his mother and dragged into the labyrinth by the small, foul demons that wield wicked spears. There were many other children taken that day, including the son of King Leoric. The knights of the palace went below, but never returned. The blacksmith found the boy, but only after the foul beasts had begun to torture him for their sadistic pleasures.
Cain will identify items for us at a small price. He'll be probably the most useful characters we talk to in town.
Can't a fellow drink in peace? Ogden is the best man in town. I don't think his wife likes me much, but as long as she keeps tapping kegs, I'll like her just fine. Seems like I've been spending more time with Ogden than most, but he's so good to me.
Farnham is the town drunk. He's got a pretty tragic backstory. We'll cover that later in the game.
What ails you, my friend? Before it was taken over by, well, whatever lurks below, the cathedral was a place of great learning. There are many books to be found there. If you find any, you should read them all, for some may hold secrets to the workings of the labyrinth.
Pepin here will heal us for free, and he will also sell us a bunch of healing items. Probably one of the more important characters we also talk to in town.
Well, what can I do for you? Well, I have to practically smuggle in the metals and tools I need from caravans that skirt the edges of our damned town. That witch Adria always seems to get whatever she needs. If I knew even the smallest bit about how to harness magic as she did, I could make some truly incredible things.
Griswold completes the trifecta of the most important people here in the middle of town. He sells us items and repairs.
Thank goodness you returned. Much has changed since you lived here, my friend. All was peaceful until the Dark Riders came and destroyed our village. Many were cut down where they stood, and those who took up arms were slain or dragged away to become slaves, or worse. The church at the edge of town has been desecrated and is being used for dark rituals. The screams that echo in the night are inhuman, but some of our townsfolk may yet survive. Follow the path that lies between my tavern and the blacksmith's shop to find the church and save who you can. Perhaps I can tell you more if we speak again. Good luck. Thank.
Ogden there operates the tavern. He's mostly a quest giver.
Good day. How may I serve you? Cain has been the storyteller of Tristram for as long as I can remember. He knows so much and can tell you just about anything. About almost everything.
Jillian is kind of like Farnham. She doesn't really have a use in the town besides just flavor and someone else to talk to. But she is right there. It never hurts to talk to her or see what her thoughts are on any given quest. Now out here is another member of the town. It's probably one of the harder ones to get to. This is Wirt, the peg-legged boy.
Psst, over here. I guess I owe the blacksmith my life. What there is of it. Sure, Griswold offered me an apprenticeship at the smithy. He's a nice enough guy, but I'll never get enough money to... Well, let's just say that I have definite plans that require a large amount of gold.
If you remember, or if you think about Diablo 2, there were characters that let you gamble for items. Wirt kind of serves the purpose in this game. For the low price of 50 gold, he will let you look at whatever item he's offering, and it can be a very expensive item. Usually it tends to be about 50,000 to 100,000 gold. But he offers some of the most powerful things in the game in exchange. We will be making great use of him much, much later in the playthrough. For now, though, you just kind of talk to him when we want to learn about a quest. Now, out here is probably the fourth most useful person in town, the witch Adria. She's really hard to get to just because it takes so long to walk out to her. Of course, I took the long way around. She sells magic stuff, like staves and spells and even mana potions.
I sense a soul in search of answers. Earth and walls and thatched canopy do not a home create. The innkeeper Ogden serves more of a purpose in this town than many understand. He provides shelter for Jillian and her matriarch, maintains what life Farnham has left to him, and provides an anchor for all who are left in the town to what Tristram once was. His tavern and the simple pleasures that can still be found there provide a glimpse of a life that the people here remember. It is that memory that continues to feed their hopes for your success.
In terms of talking about quests, Adria and Cain tend to give the best advice, while everybody else more or less gives flavor text. But we will be talking to everybody. And of course there's cows here because it's a farming community. Anyway, let's head below the cathedral here and see what we can find. See if we can put a stop to whatever evil's down there. But first, there's a quest out here we need to take. First one in the game, the most famous one.
Please, listen to me. The Archbishop Lazarus. He led us down here to find the lost prince. The bastard led us into a trap. Now everyone is dead, killed by a demon he called the Butcher. Avenge us! Find this butcher and slay him, so that our souls may finally rest.
Your death will be avenged.
Ask any one person what they remember about the first Diablo game, and I guarantee you it'll be the Butcher.
The sanctity of this place has been fouled.
Anyway, combat in Diablo is a pretty simple affair. You know, it is pretty much the granddaddy of the point-and-click and loot adventure genre. You click on monsters, you point at them, you get loot. Not necessarily in that order, mind you, but you get my point. It is kind of janky compared to entries that came later, but I mean, it did come out 21 years ago. So you should cut it a little slack. Anyway, the reason I picked Rogue is that I've spent the most time in this game playing as a Rogue. I'm most comfortable playing as the ranged class. I've watched other people play as Warrior, I've tried it myself, it's not very fun, and I just don't have that much experience as the Sorcerer. But, I mean, you put me down in this game and give me a Rogue, I can pretty much beat it within half a day or so. It does take a while to get through the later parts of the game. Here I'm selecting the Rogue's skill detect traps, or song traps. It's good, every one of the character classes has a skill like that. Warriors can repair armor at the cost of some of its max durability, or I guess repair weapons or armor. And sorcerers can recharge magic stays at the cost of some of their charges to cast something. Rogues, meanwhile, there are like doors and chests and whatever in the dungeon, this 16-level dungeon, that are trapped. And if you click on them or open them, the trap gets triggered and it, shoots an arrow or casts a magic spell or whatever. It does damage to you, basically. And rogues can disarm those. Anyway, a second ago we just got our first level up. For the most part, I'm going to be pumping most of the points we get into dexterity. Dexterity increases the damage rogues do. It also increases their accuracy, and it also, I believe, increases armor value. Yeah, it increases armor value. It's perhaps the most important stat for rogues. Beyond that, I'm just going to increase strength when we need to wield a new bow, and otherwise what I don't put into dexterity will go into vitality, because we need to be able to survive hits later in the game. Being able to shoot the wings off a fly don't mean much if you can't take a hit in return. I'm sure we're getting a lot of staves to drop. The first staff we found a couple minutes ago now was blue. It's a magic item. We can take that to Cain to identify, or we can, if we find an identify scroll, do it ourselves for free. Cain charges, I believe, 100 gold pieces to do it, which is pretty cheap compared to what you can get for some of these items. Some things you find later in the game can sell for almost 20,000 gold per piece. Yeah, our inventory's starting to get full. We're gonna have to return to town before too long to sell up and, heal up and all that good stuff. To regroup. We've actually been pretty lucky, because usually there's a lot more trapped chests and stuff in the game than this. Some games I've played this, you can't turn a corner without finding 3 of them. Right there I equipped our first piece of armor. Rags are just what they sound like, kind of crappy pieces like discarded clothing. And it's already turned red, which tells you how good armor it is. And I think that was our armor breaking with the hit we dodged from the skeleton. Unlike Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 for that matter, we don't automatically equip things. So in that case we had to open our inventory up and actually drag it onto our character model to equip it from the ground. And for as outdated as this game is, I do still enjoy it. It's got a feeling that no other game really has. We found our first identify scroll. And a book. Books always contain a magic spell. They're more common in the upper levels of the dungeon. And if you're particularly lucky, you can amass quite the magic library before you get to the parts of the game where books are much rarer. In this case, we found a tome of Charge Bolt and Holy Bolt. Charge Bolt is like a basic electric attack, and anybody who's played Diablo 2 or 3 for that matter knows what it is immediately. Holy Bolt, on the other hand, is unique to the first Diablo game, and it basically casts a spell that only damages undead. It's useful, but it is very expensive to cast. I have to leave that saber behind for later. In fact, I think it's probably time we head back to town. Here in town, we are going to start. The town doesn't reset unless you start a new game, so we're going to use town as kind of a giant storage depot. We're going to put mana potions out by that rock there and put books out in front of the inn. Ogden might like to read those sometime.
Greetings, good master. Welcome to the Tavern of the Rising Sun. Farnham spends far too much time here drowning his sorrows in cheap ale. I would make him leave, but he did suffer so during his time in the labyrinth.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
We're not doing too bad because we're already up to 397 gold from what we started with of 100.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Now, unfortunately, you do have to walk out to Adria to sell scrolls and staves. For the most part, I'm pretty much going to leave those where they fall unless they're magic. Here's where I cut back into the dungeon, save you some boring managing stuff in town. So now that our inventory is fairly empty, let's continue on with the dungeon and see what we can find. Right here I'm looking for that saber that dropped, not realizing it's much further down in the room. Now what I'm doing right here is, if you hold the shift key and attack and click around, your character will attack without moving, which is particularly important for rogues who can attack with bows like this. It's one of the most important strategies in this game, and learning it is probably, not even probably, it's absolutely vital to success. There's a trap sarcophagus. If you right-click to, you can right-click to use spells, or abilities in this case. And some abilities are, I don't want to say bugged, but they're a little weird, where you have to actually right-click on the item you want to use. In this case, you have to right-click on the chest, or the sarcophagus, or what have you that's trapped. Otherwise, it fails. I don't know why it's like that. It took me a long time to realize that's why the untrapping wasn't working. And we were almost done with the first level. Just an empty room over here, and that's actually it. So I will see you guys next time for level 2, where we take on the first boss of the game, the Butcher. See you all then.